People are trying to make a big deal out of Brittany Griner's dunk in the All-Star game, and let's just ignore the fact that this would be the least exciting dunk ever seen in a men's JV game, but this is super irresponsible of her, because don't you think you'd stay away from traveling like this after everything she's experienced?
Said she could beat DeMarcus Cousins in one-on-one, and then they went around asking a bunch of NBA players. The head coach is a UConn.
So something unexpected just happened. Brittany Griner is now hinting at a possible move to the NBA, and this doesn't sound like a random comment or publicity stunt. The timing has fans questioning what comes next. Griner has faced plenty of controversy before, but this latest situation has sparked even more speculation. Now people are asking whether an NBA move could be her next big power play, a fresh opportunity, or simply a way to leave the current drama behind. Could this have been the plan all along?
The basketball world. Brittany Griner has walked away from the game she once dominated, citing a relentless wave of public hate and emotional exhaustion as the final straw.
Now, let's be clear. This didn't exactly come out of nowhere. Just a week earlier, Griner appeared to be making a major shift in her public messaging. Her publicist posted 3 cryptic messages focused on elite men's competition and the idea of leveling the playing field. At the time, most people barely noticed. Then, a series of alleged internal emails from Atlanta Dream staff reportedly surfaced, accusing Griner of manipulating public perception to distract from off-court issues. That's when the speculation really exploded. Looking back, some fans believe there may have been clues all along. During a sideline interview last season, Griner reportedly began saying, "If I was in the NBA before catching herself, it seemed insignificant then, but now fans are examining the moment differently." And that wasn't the only interview attracting renewed attention. Another clip has resurfaced where Griner said, "Everyone should be allowed to play ball."
Deserve the right to play. Everyone deserves the right to come here, sit in these seats, and feel safe, and not feel like there's a threat or they can't be who they are. Definitely will be speaking up against that legislation and those laws that are trying to be passed, for sure.
At the time, it simply appeared that Brittany was advocating for athletes of all backgrounds to have the opportunity to compete professionally. But now, with all this speculation circulating, some fans are wondering whether those comments were actually early hints that she could be considering a shocking move to the NBA. Adding to the speculation is the silence from the Atlanta Dream front office. The organization has not publicly addressed the alleged leaks, the rumors surrounding Griner's future, or the claims being discussed online. That silence has only fueled more questions and made the situation appear even more mysterious to fans. But then another moment sent social media into overdrive. A former WNBA teammate reportedly unfollowed Griner across multiple platforms before reposting a cryptic message that said, "When the truth hits, they always pivot like it was part of the plan." Fans immediately began connecting the dots. Reddit discussions exploded, NBA TikTok creators started revisiting old Griner interviews, and suddenly the conversation shifted toward what might actually be happening behind the scenes. Still, there is an important distinction between online speculation and verified information. Claims about an alleged fraud case, leaked internal messages, or falsified medical records should not be treated as established facts without reliable evidence. According to the rumors circulating online, Griner's camp had supposedly been involved in private damage control surrounding documents connected to a lawsuit in Phoenix. The most serious allegation involves claims of falsified medical records connected to a 2022 injury exemption. Those claims, however, remain allegations unless confirmed by credible legal or official sources. That is what has caused fans to start connecting the different pieces of the story, including speculation about whether the alleged exemption affected Griner's availability or financial incentives. But until verified documentation or official statements emerge, the bigger NBA move theory remains exactly that: speculation.
Everybody knows who Brittany Griner is, and if you don't know who Brittany Griner is, she is the WNBA star that we traded a weapons terrorist for about a year ago. And recently, a momentous personal occasion has happened for her.
You're about to be a mom. How is that feeling?
Pops.
Oh, let me get it together. About to be a pops.
Now look, man, it's 2024. I don't care if a woman and a woman want to have a kid together. Good on that. More power to them. But it's just so weird to me. You want your son to call you Pops, and whenever his friends ask, "What does your dad do for a living?" he's supposed to say, "Oh, he plays in the WNBA." Now, to make this even more confusing, Brittany Griner maintains that she is a biological woman and identifies as female. I don't know. Congratulations to Brittany Griner for bringing in a baby boy. I just think it's very fascinating how this human somehow finds a way to create controversy out of everything.
Even if there were any chance this entire situation would be swept under the rug, those little perks make it look even more suspicious. Now this move to the NBA is starting to feel less like a normal career decision and more like a distraction, or possibly even a preemptive exit strategy. And that raises one major question. Was this NBA move always part of the plan? Or is it simply an escape route now that the WNBA doors seem to be closing? But things get even more interesting. As many of you know, Brittany Griner's relationship with the WNBA has been complicated since the Russia situation. The league welcomed her back, celebrated her return, and portrayed her comeback as something almost heroic.
Nice to be back on the court in a real game and everything. The love from the fans when I came out was amazing. The players, I definitely feel it. I appreciate everything a little bit more. All the little small moments that I used to just like, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I don't want to go to practice today, or oh, this, that. I think that has changed, honestly. Just appreciating everything because, tomorrow's not guaranteed. You don't know what it's going to look like. So I think that's kind of how it changed.
But behind the scenes, real cracks were reportedly forming. Multiple insiders claimed there was tension over how much media attention she received, with some players feeling Brittany was being pushed as the league's face despite inconsistent on-court results. So when the lawsuit details began surfacing, it wasn't shocking that the league didn't immediately rush to defend her. There were no obvious attempts to stop leaks, control the narrative, or launch a major PR response. Instead, they seemingly went silent. And that silence raised even more questions. Then things got even crazier. Reports claimed Griner's camp contacted two NBA teams, the Rockets and Hornets, about potential scrimmages.
Said she could beat DeMarcus Cousins in one-on-one. And then they went around asking a bunch of NBA players. The head coach of the UConn girls, Gene, I can't remember his last name.
Oriema?
Yeah. He said, if there's no ref and they're playing one-on-one, I'm selling my house, I'm taking all my money out of my bank accounts, and I'm putting it all on DeMarcus.
What makes this situation so fascinating is that they aren't pursuing full contracts or exhibition deals yet. They're reportedly focusing only on scrimmages. Why does that matter? Because a scrimmage can test public reaction without the commitment or risk of a contract. If fans respond positively, it could open the door to something much bigger. And that raises the real question, why now? Why take such a huge risk unless what's waiting behind her in the WNBA is even more troubling than what lies ahead in the NBA? Elite female players have scrimmaged against men before, but turning that into a public career shift feels like something much bigger.
She's that confident in her abilities. She's also a little delusional. It's not a walk in the park over here.
I'm just going to use that to fuel this. I mean, I'm better, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay, little man.
You like the confidence, BG, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I got cuz on that one.
If there's no referee, I'm going to go to the ATM and I'm going to sell my house and I'm going to put all my money on DeMarcus.
And just when it seemed like the situation was finally cooling off, another alleged leak suddenly surfaced. This time, it was reportedly a voice note from a WNBA staff meeting where a coach allegedly described Brittany as damaged optics in motion. But what happened immediately afterward caught even more attention. Her former agent reportedly unfollowed her, removed promotional posts, and completely erased her from their featured talent list. That doesn't usually happen without a reason. It suggests that something serious may have shifted behind the scenes, something potentially big enough to change the entire narrative. So what is the NBA saying? Officially, nothing. But according to reports from verified sports journalists, there appears to be curiosity rather than commitment. One league source reportedly said, Brittany's proposal felt more like a PR reset than a genuine pitch. And honestly, that makes sense because right now, people aren't just watching her basketball tape, they're watching the headlines surrounding her. And that appears to be exactly what her team is counting on. But here's where the story gets even more complicated. Fans are completely divided. Some believe she's being fearless, breaking barriers, and potentially rewriting basketball history. Others are much less convinced and are saying what many people won't. If you're truly good enough, why rely on controversy or attention to prove it? Put everything together, and this entire saga starts looking more like a carefully staged spectacle than a basketball competition. But before we go any further, we need to examine Brittany Griner's media strategy throughout all of this.
On the court, and it hit me hard, So just looking forward to all those moments, just walking in on the first home game.
I think I played in front of everybody in one place, honestly, since like high school, honestly. So just having everybody here.
Over the last 48 hours, her team has reportedly worked hard to make this potential move more appealing to fans. That includes discussing a competitive reevaluation, circulating older footage of Brittany dunking against male players, and teasing a documentary about her next chapter. Insiders allegedly claim the documentary is already in post-production, with subtle promotional efforts possibly underway. That could explain the sudden increase in attention surrounding her name, including her recent interview with Cam Newton. During that appearance, the messaging seemed focused on making Brittany appear more relatable and accessible. Even the speaking her truth framing raised eyebrows as she presented a noticeably more down-to-earth, marketable image.
From Houston.
Yes.
H-Town.
Born and raised.
All right. How was that growing up in the city of Houston for you?
I mean, it was pretty easy at first. You know, I wasn't into sports really at first. I was an active kid, but like I would climb trees, riding bikes, skating, all that. But I wasn't into basketball just yet. Grew up with my parents, and you know, they did their best to make sure I was on the straight path. But it was cool. It got hectic once I got to high school, and that dunk video came out. That's when life kind of started changing.
Right.
But all of this raises a bigger question. Was this move really about redemption and rebranding? Or is there something else happening behind the scenes that we haven't seen yet? An anonymous WNBA employee allegedly leaked a DM exchange where someone asked, "Is she really moving to the NBA?" The response was even more intriguing. "She's not moving. She's deflecting." That single line immediately changed the conversation because it suggests there could be something bigger being avoided. And whatever that might be, the speculation is that it could be serious enough to leave the league that helped build her career. If true, that could send shockwaves throughout the WNBA. So what does all of this mean for the league? Right now, the WNBA appears to be watching the situation unfold without making any major public moves. There have been no major statements, no aggressive pushback against the NBA rumors, and seemingly no obvious attempt to control the narrative. That silence is fueling even more speculation. Are they simply done defending her, or has Brittany Griner effectively been cut loose? Meanwhile, the lawsuit reportedly remains sealed, the alleged emails remain unverified, and the documentary rumors continue circulating. That makes this feel less like a straightforward career move and more like a carefully managed transition. If that's really what's happening, the biggest question isn't where Brittany is going next. It's what she's leaving behind. Until those sealed files and unconfirmed claims become clearer, this NBA story will continue raising more questions than answers, and the silence may be the most intriguing part of all.